Now, President Trump continues to lash out at staffers over their perceived lack of loyalty to the president. Insiders say that Trump is reeling from the recovery in the wake of Hurricane Harvey, the fallout from the deadly clashes in Charlottesville, and what he sees as a media onslaught that has taken to lashing and has taken to lashing out because he feels he's not getting the credit that he deserves. Sad baby. Now, according to one friend talking to the Washington Post, he's having a very hard time. He doesn't like the way the media is handling him. And he's turning on people that are very close to him. People like Gary Cohn. Now, Gary Cohn, we know, drafted a resignation letter after Charlottesville, after Trump made his ridiculous both sides comment, of course, and defended neo-Nazis and white supremacists who were marching along, and said that people marching along with those people were some very fine folks. So Cohn, of course, who's Jewish, was like, oof, I got to get out of here. He ended up staying, of course, but he did write a resignation letter, and then he came out and he made his own statements. And that, of course, has Trump pissed, because it's like, what are you doing, Gary? You're supposed to be on my side. My side. Yeah, okay. That's fun. Now, not only that, but they said that the president has been reportedly fuming over Cohn's lack of loyalty, as I said, but has not dismissed him because he is leading Trump's tax strategy alongside Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin. That kind of tells you what direction, of course, Trump is going. So he either fires Cohn and loses his ability to cut his taxes by millions of dollars, or he does not. So we also know the president has been fighting with Secretary of State Rex Tillerson. Now, this, of course, after the Secretary of State's comments that the president speaks for himself over, again, Charlottesville. Several people close to Trump said that they would be surprised if Tillerson stays for longer than a year. He has said in private that he is unhappy with the recent string of controversies to hit the White House. However, it's not just Tillerson and Cohn, but you also have, and don't be surprised, John Kelly. Now, Kelly is, Kelly is, of course, was hired to bring some order into the White House, right? Well, he's been doing so, and Trump's not very happy. In fact, Trump is said to resent the new structure in the White House imposed by Kelly, who was referred to by Trump loyalists as, quote, and you'll love this nickname, the church lady. So they're calling him the church lady. That's fun. Now, part of what changes that Kelly has made to the White House is he's made it a lot tighter, right? He's tried to tighten up the ship. And that has got Trump and his friends a little upset because they no longer can call his office at any time they want or to drop in unannounced. In fact, previously Trump's friends used to be able to call the White House and get through the president directly. Now Kelly acts as what they call a gatekeeper, with all of the calls routed through him. And again, if anybody wants to drop in, well, they have to make an appointment. Now, sources, though, have said that Trump continues to seek outside advice from friends and advisors, including former chief strategist Stephen Bannon. So on his off time, he goes and he calls up Bannon. Of course. Look, what did I tell you? John Kelly, he's got the impossible job. He's got to clean up a White House that doesn't want to be clean. Okay? And look, that's why when John Kelly was hired, I was like, this guy's not going to last. Okay? And for one, Trump hates being managed. And I don't think it'll take much longer for Trump to get tired of these little reforms and say, hey, you know what? Kelly, it's been fun, but not really. But you got to go. We'll see. Now, Roger Stone, you know Roger Stone, former Trump advisor, also talked to the Washington Post, and he said of this, look, hey, man, John Kelly is probably going to go because Trump hates being managed. In fact, he resists being handled. And he said that General Kelly is trying to treat the president like a mushroom. Keeping him in the dark is not going to work. Donald Trump is a free spirit. Now, I find it very amusing that that the president is being referred to as a fungus. A little ironic. But anyway, that's beside the point. Now, this is about dysfunction. What did I tell you about that dysfunction? I do believe that Trump is an agent of chaos. Now, I know that sounds a little strange, but think about this. He thrives on conflict. He loves conflict. He loves starting fights. That's why he's always going after the media. That's why he's always going after people who don't, respect him or either disrespect him or don't give him loyalty. This is a guy who just loves to start fights. That's why he's always starting fights on Twitter. So, and look, one thing he absolutely loves is when people fight for his attention. So he thrives on this. Now, John Kelly, he is the anathema to that, all right? Government itself is anathema to that. Is it any wonder why his supporters are now reveling in this chaos? Look, they hated government to begin with. So, and they wanted to see it burn down. Now, part of his appeal was, I'm going to burn down the establishment. Well, he kind of wants to do that just by his dysfunction, just for the way that he is that, again, he is against that order. So, and look, to him and his supporters, things like food stamps and healthcare and proper rules to protect people, those things are the swamp. And so, look, for a long time, I had a really hard time trying to understand why his supporters continue to see him as being successful, despite having zero achievements when it comes to policy. But it turns out we're the ones who are wrong. We're measuring this success by the wrong metric, okay? Now, we think of success as progressives as actually passing good policy. Well, they don't. Their metric of success is not about what you build. It's about what you tear down. And on that metric, Trump has actually been wildly successful. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.